Hey, everybody, this is Jimmy. You're reading with Jimmy. Today we're doing the 10-minute breakdown, Farewell to Arms, a novel by Ernest Hemingway, subtitled Love, Loss, and the End of Illusions. I'm doing this 10-minute breakdown because I want you to read the whole novel with me, which is on our website. So welcome, everybody. What if I told you that one of the greatest love stories in literature is also one of the most brutal war novels ever written? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms is just that, about love, war, fate, loss. Lieutenant Henry, the narrator of this story, doesn't just tell us the story. He makes you feel the war, the chaos, the beauty, the heartbreak. So welcome to Jimmy's Quick Takes. This is 10 minutes where we'll be talking about Farewell to Arms, and what a masterpiece this is in literature, American literature. So what's the story? I'm glad you asked. The setting is World War I, Italy, and it's the front lines. Meet our narrator. The main character is Frederick Henry. He's the guy who narrates the story. An American ambulance driver for the Italian army. He's not exactly a hero. He's just a guy trying to survive, kind of drifting through life. And then there's Catherine Barclay, where the love interest is. She's an English nurse. She's beautiful, caring, and she's deeply wounded by the loss of her boyfriend in the Battle of the Somme. That was a real bloodbath. Over 57,000 British soldiers died the first day. It's horrible, horrible war. At first, it's just a game between them, a flirtation. But as the war rages on, love deepens, supposedly. Well, you have to read it with me to find that out. But that's for you to figure out, like I just said. So the war, Lieutenant Henry gives us mud, blood, chaos, violence, everything. Hemingway is a great writer to do this through the voice of Lieutenant Henry. So this story isn't just about glory. It's a story about survival, about reality, illusions, and much, much more. So the Lieutenant Henry actually deserts, and with Catherine flees to Switzerland, trying to leave the war behind them for the mountains where it's peaceful and where they hope to start a new life. But fate has other plans. What are those plans? Well, you have to read the story with me. So what's the big deal about this? Well, he's a soldier, an ambulance driver, a man caught in the chaos of World War I. But he doesn't just explain the war to us. He shows us the war. A shell explodes and his whole world changes in a second. He's eating spaghetti with his men and a shell blows him up. He gets wounded in the knee. But the way Hemingway writes it is beautifully written, and you can feel like you were in the foxhole with them. Love, it's fragile. A moment of passion and suddenly he belongs to somebody. You belong to someone. A moment of passion. Fate. It's unstoppable. And when I say passion, this man, Lieutenant Henry, is a man of passion, right? Physicalness. Loves to eat. Loves sex. Fate. It's unstoppable. No matter how fast you run, you can't escape your fate. Did you know that? So Lieutenant Henry isn't a hero. He's not even a believer in God. He just moves through the war, like a man floating down a river, resisting nothing. In the scene, he's working in the Italian army, so there's a priest there too, and he has conversations, controlling nothing. Catherine is a woman who loves him without hesitation, and who believes for just a moment that there's something beyond war. Or is she a little crazy? That's for you to figure out when we read it together. And so it's not just about the war, right? It's about what war takes from all of us, about loss and how we carry loss. We all have loss. And in the end, Lieutenant Henry is left like he started, kind of drifting and moving forward in the rain, which is a symbol. So the tragedy of Farewell to Arms it's not just about war. It's about running from war. It's living in a war, and it's realizing that you can't escape yourself. War might just be equal to life, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to think about that when you read it with me. It's a long novel, but it's worth it. Lieutenant Henry deserts the army. The war follows him, deserting the army through the army, right? And yet He kills a soldier for deserting, but he deserts himself. I'd call that hypocrisy, wouldn't you? He and Catherine find peace. They go to the mountains once he deserts, but peace never lasts. Why? She's pregnant with his child. Did they ever find peace? And what are their true motivations of running away? Her definition of love, there is no me, there is only you. One of the most beautiful definitions I ever read of love. There is no me, there is only you. Lieutenant Henry defines it as there is no you, there is only me. But that's up to you to figure out when you read the book. And the ending, it's kind of, it makes me cry. Because she dies, giving birth to their child, who's also dies. And Lieutenant Henry just walks away in the rain alone, no music, no dramatic speech, just sighing. So why does it still matter today? Because language is charged with meaning. Hemingway, not the greatest American writer, but a classic. And Ezra Pound said it's pure, powerful, and real, right? It's charged with meaning. He uses very simple words, beautifully, simply written. Because war and love are still intertwined, powerful emotions. Just look around you today. And because loss is universal. When you lose yourself, when you lose someone you love, right? Lieutenant Henry captures loss despite his feelings for real loss or not. Because that's one of the questions you're going to answer when you read with Jimmy. Did this guy really feel any loss? That's towards the end. What's he doing in the war anyway? He's an American in the Italian army. So it's painful, it's unforgettable, and maybe it's not for everyone, but I guarantee you, if you read it with me, it will stick with you. It will stick with you. Calling all readers. Farewell to Arms in 10 minutes. You just got it, right? So now, unpack this novel with me. Come on to my website. You're on it now while you're reading these 10 minutes. Go to Farewell to Arms and start reading it with me. Or check it out on YouTube. There's my YouTube address. I'll give you a QR code in a moment. And I'm going to read and analyze every line, every moment, and I'm going to bring this masterpiece to life for you. I'm going to do my best. And I'd like to leave you with this question. Can we ever truly escape our fate? Can we? If you got another classic you're interested in me reading, Jimmy at readingwithjimmy.com, Jimmy@readingwithjimmy.com. And thank you for listening to this 10-minute summary called QuickTakes. Before you go, this is what it'll look like when you land on my page on this website, Farewell to Arms. There are, in fact, 5 books full of chapters in each book. The first book has 12 chapters. I read a series of chapters. It's a long book, and I don't want to, who's got time to read a whole novel in one sitting? So I divide it up for you. But the good news is you can pause or go forward. But after the end of each book, there's a comprehensive analysis to help you appreciate and understand this book. And when you understand it better, you appreciate it better. And when you appreciate it better, you are truly reading with Jimmy. Thanks so much. I want to say a farewell to arms, but I don't want to say farewell to reading. So please, come read this book with me now, please. Thank you very much for listening.